Hello, good morning, happy Friday before the bank holiday. So if you are tuning in for today's weekly live show, I've come on just 2 minutes early because I know it can take us a while to find a live video and I never want you to feel like you missed the start. So just hang around me for a couple of minutes. I'm going to find us on my computer as well. If you see me looking here, so I'm on my phone here and computer here, so bear with me. Still got a minute to grab a cup of tea if you want one. All right, nope. There we are, okay. So if you're here already, please pop me a comment so that I know you're here and we can feel that sense of community and collaboration versus me just in my office at home. So who have we got? What's going on? How's your week been? You've been teaching online, you've been teaching on Zoom, any one-to-ones? What have you been up to? I'm going to hang around until you talk back to me. Right, so we'll hold on just one more minute. Joe, lovely to have you live. Good morning. Antonia, welcome to you. Antonia was our guest expert last week. I know you all enjoyed that session. Divya, good morning. Nice to see you. Joe, sold out your face-to-face classes. That is amazing, hon. Well done. That's really good. There's a real appetite, isn't there, from people to get back to their in-person. Chelsea, good morning. Welcome to the live show. Okay, I make that half past, so we shall begin. Welcome to the weekly live show. If we've not yet met, my name is Laura Green. I am a yoga teacher and a teacher trainer and a teacher business mentor with a mission to help yoga teachers to thrive by supporting your community whilst being well rewarded for the work you do, which brings us on to the topic of today's session: how to price your yoga offerings. So we are covering this topic on pricing because it is something I am seeing a lot of questions come up about, a lot of people asking, how much should I be charging for X? Be that a corporate class, a one-to-one, a course, a package. So I wanted to address some pricing. Now, this is often rooted in mindset and money blocks. That is a training all and of itself, that sense of self-worth, mindset, and overcoming money blocks. So we're not actually going into that today because you'll find a lot of trainings out there. So even if you just Google or look at podcasts, you'll find lots of trainings on covering mindset and money blocks. You know me, I like detail, actionable, implementable. So today we're going into the details of pricing, and I'll trust you to be working on your mindset and money blocks separately, but you can always ask me questions. So I've got some notes because there's quite a lot I want to cover. And if anything is sounding like, a real sort of homework, actionable detail, you know the deal. You guys need to type it in the comments. When you type, it really helps you take what I am saying to you and really feel that lesson and learn it when you type it. It's like writing and it helps cement it for everybody else as well. So first things first, there is no set price, okay? I really want you to let that settle in. Sorry, I keep looking to the side. My cat's trying to play with the stuff on top of the piano. Right, I cannot concentrate and watch her on the piano. Got an important topic, Lily. Important topic. Okay, there is no set price. So when you are thinking about pricing, don't ask, don't look outside of yourself for what is the set price for this. There is no set fixed price for anything. Stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing your offerings. Stop competing. Stop trying to fit in. And instead, start creating and looking inside. If you think about other industries, if other people that were competitors in other industries were all to get on a forum and say, what should I be charging for X? What should we be charging for teaching one-to-one yoga? What should we be charging for teaching corporate yoga? That would be called price fixing, cartel price fixing, and that's illegal. Okay, because it's not good for competition, it's not good for uniqueness, for differing opportunities, for differing businesses to thrive knowing their unique selling point. So just eradicate that from your mind, that there is a right, set, fixed price. You get to create your pricing. This is about what does market research mean? So you hear a lot of people talk about market research, and I am all for market research. But market research is about getting to understand your clients, getting to understand what your clients' needs, what they're struggling with, what their pain points are. Market research is looking at what is going on in your area, looking at who is being served, who is not being served, seeing the gap. Market research is not looking at what other people are charging and you charging the same. Okay? That leads to everybody undervaluing themselves. So I'm not saying no to market research, but I'm saying no to market research on pricing. Instead, you dive deep inside. And what do you dive inside to look at? Lily! She's knocking stuff back over on the piano. Right, if it happens again, I'm going to shut her out. What do you look deep inside for? You look inside about value. So let's stop thinking about pricing being a currency, being pounds. Let's start thinking about value. And you have value to you, and you have value to the clients. And we start by looking at what we're going to charge, by what is the value. What is the value of this course, class, corporate opportunity, retreat? What is the value to you, and what is the value to your client? So let's look at what the value is to client. We know that yoga and our yoga offerings are not simply an exercise class. They are not the same as going to body pump, as going to step. We know yoga is a lifelong practice that transforms people's lives. And we really need to start looking at the value of that and not thinking it's just an hour-long exercise class. So what are the kinds of costs to people as individuals for not doing yoga? So what is the cost of something like back pain? I have had horrific back pain in my life, and I'm sure many of you have had bad back pain before. The cost is extreme. You can't sleep. You can't concentrate at work. You get snappy in your relationships. It affects your family. The physical costs in someone's life of back pain is huge. What is the cost to someone's mental and physical health of stress? What is the cost to someone's life of living with anxiety, with insomnia? Yoga can help, and your offerings can really help transform people's lives that have stress, back pain, insomnia, anxiety, and many other issues as well. Your students will have said to you that yoga has been life-changing for them. I have had students say, and other teachers have said, that yoga saved their life. And that's the big thing, especially someone that's been really dealing with mental health issues. Yoga can be life-saving. Lauren, your comment's making me all emotional. Whew. Okay. Yoga can be life-saving. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody has to have a mortgage to be able to pay for it, but you need to really recognize the value of what you are bringing to someone, even in a drop-in class. Now, I also want you to think about what is the value to you. And value to you of an offering isn't something that's just immediate, okay? It's not what is the monetary reward to me for teaching that class. £50, £75, £100. It's not just that one class. We need to stop thinking about short term and think about long term. A little example of this is I don't do that much cover teaching anymore because my schedule's quite full and I haven't been doing cover teaching for years. But a little while ago someone said, Laura, I'm stuck. Can you help cover me at this class? I was already around the corner. I think they were paying £20. I don't cover teach anymore. I don't make £20 per class anymore. I said, sure, of course you need help. I'll go. So I covered this class and I met this lovely student called Georgina. And then Georgina's husband then came on to do teacher training with me. That's Enrico. Enrico is now a SUP yoga teacher trainer training other teachers. The ripple effect is huge. But if I just thought £20 for a cover class, nah, that wouldn't have been that ripple effect. So even just with the cost of a teacher training, Enrico paid me probably £3,500 for a teacher training. So it's not just looking at the immediate. What is the long-term value of something? What is the long-term value of one student? You know, when you go to a class and you're setting up and there's just one student, you might think, oh, it's not even covering my hall hire today. But when you nurture and cherish that one student and then they're with you over time, what is the value of that? And again, I remember when I was setting up my classes 11 years ago, I often had just one student in the first year at my class at Whiteley, Rob. Rob is still with me. Rob has come to probably 46 weeks a year, every year for 11 years. In just class value, Rob has probably paid me about £5,000. So stop thinking short term. Think long term. And value not just being financial, but what are you learning from working with a particular community? So I don't make much money out of one of my chair yoga classes, but it's a community that I learn a lot from being with. They educate me. They're great at giving feedback. So what is the value to every offering for you? Who's it introducing you to? You know, I went and taught on someone else's retreat in Italy before I wanted to set up my own retreats. She didn't pay me to teach. I taught a whole retreat completely for free. But the value of that was I got to see how to run retreats. And one of the students from that retreat still retreats with me every year. So stop thinking short term when you're pricing. Start thinking long term. Who are you going to meet through this offering? What's it going to give you experience of that you could then do more of? How rewarding do you find it to be with those people? So start really thinking about what is the value of something for you and what is the value of something to your client. And really sit with that when you're then deciding what's the price of this. Okay, moving on from value and not thinking short term, but thinking what's the long-term value of this, I want you to come on to looking at time. So a lot of the time when people are asking me questions about pricing, they'll be saying something like, this is a 60-minute class, this is a 75-minute class, this is a 90-minute class. It's really not that much work for you, whether something's a 60-minute class or a 75-minute class. We need to stop thinking in terms of trading our time minute by minute in comparison to the price. Because it's about so much more than that. It is not just the 1 hour you are providing a corporate class, you are with someone, you are doing a one-to-one. It is all of the expertise and knowledge that has led you to being there. It is all the number of years you've spent practicing yoga. It is your teacher training. It is every CPD. It's you spending 20 minutes every Friday on a live show with me, learning more. It's the sum of all of your expertise that you arrive with to teach that 1 hour corporate class. Lauren, her partner is a tree surgeon, and I know he comes across this quite a lot. He will arrive to cut down a dangerous tree from somewhere, and it might only take him half an hour to an hour to cut it down. But he might charge a few £100s for that, if not more. And someone will think, well, that's a lot of money for an hour's work, but you're paying for Ben's expertise and experience to know exactly where and how to safely cut down that tree. Same with us as yoga teachers. When you walk into a corporate class, a group class, a community class, a chair class in a nursing centre, and you walk in and you look at the people there, and instinctively something in you, your intuition, knows that you need to say these words today. You need to deliver this meditation today. You need to deliver this pranayama today. You need to tweak your lesson plan and do this. And then those students say at the end, oh my God, that was just what I needed today. Thank you. That is because you have experience. And that is what someone's paying for, not just an hour of your time. If you think on Wednesday, I shared a 5-minute meditation with you, and all of you said it was exactly what you needed. That is because that is my 20 years of yoga experience, over 10 years of teaching experience, knowing what someone needs right now. Okay? And that is what someone is paying for. Okay? So we need to stop thinking just in terms of, well, it's only 60 minutes of my time. It's always, of course, adding in journey time, lesson planning time, follow-up time. So let's dial back. What have we covered so far? If someone wants to type this up, that would be great. There is no set price. Please stop thinking there is. One-to-one, you could charge £35 for a one-to-one online that's zero effort. I charge our football club £120 for a one-to-one. I have to tailor it to each person. They want a teacher with enough experience to teach at Premier League football. You need to stop thinking there is a set price. Okay? No set price. Stop thinking money. Start thinking value. What is the value of this to my student? Let me stick with my Premier League football team. So one of the chaps I'm helping with at the moment has a bad injury that could end his football playing career. We know Premier League footballers are paid millions. The time he spends with me getting him ready to get back to playing football is worth millions to him. Okay? What is the value? Equally, what is the value for you? I will still do things for free, for really little money, if there is other value. It filled up my tank. I enjoyed being with people. I made virtually nothing at my chair yoga class yesterday, but my soul was full from being with them. Okay? So, no set fixed price. Think about value to the client and value to you. Stop thinking short term when you're pricing and think long term. What is that long term relationship with that one student, with that corporate company, with that collaborator? What is that relationship worth long term? What's it going to be paying you over a year? What other people are going to be coming to you? Again, simply thinking long term, do you do refer a friend schemes for students? I had one student when I used to teach near a university, and I offered a free first class. If you recommend a friend, it's free for you and free for them. And this chap, he was male, and I think he was doing a drama degree, and he had all of these female friends, and every week he would bring a different female friend. So he never paid me for yoga, but every week he was bringing me a different new student. Okay? So thinking the value of have him always getting free yoga from me, he brought me a new person every week. So long term. Stop thinking when you're quoting about something being an hour of your time. Think like Ben. It is your expertise that you arrive with. Okay. Then I want to ask you a question about when you're collaborating with people. So if you're going to go and teach for a studio and they're wanting to do a price split, where I'm currently working on a collaboration with a vineyard, when you're working on a collaboration, the most important bit when it comes to pricing is who is bringing the students. I'm not a lover, personally, of a kind of, oh, we'll both sort of attract the students, because then it's not firmly landing on someone's to-do list. So who is responsible for bringing the students? And that is the person that takes the lion's share of the money, because that is the bit that takes time, expertise, credibility. So I have this morning been negotiating pricing with this vineyard and justifying the margin I want to make on it. Okay, yes, they're the vineyard, but I will be bringing them 24 plus people over a series of weeks. And I said, the hidden cost of this is the 11 years of hard graft of me building my brand and my reputation that I can be bringing to you 24 different people every few Fridays over the summer. That is why I'm charging you so much. Okay? If the vineyard had the audience and they were simply asking me to come in and teach yoga to their people, that would be way, way cheaper. Okay? Who is bringing the students? That is where the biggest bulk of money goes in a collaboration. Because without the students, there is no event, there is no income. So if you are, as I just say, rocking up to teach, charge less. You don't have to think about it. Just drive there, rock up, teach. Try and get some email addresses from the people you meet so you could communicate with them afterwards, and then leave. But if you are expected to be bringing the people, you need to be taking the lion's share of the money. Recap again, there is no set price. Think about value for the client, value for you. Think about long term when it comes to value, not short term. Think about the not trading money for hours, but your entire expertise. The majority of the money goes to the person that is bringing the students, attracting the students. That's why teaching for gyms, you make so little money, because the gyms have the client base. And then lastly, when you come to pricing, it has a huge effect on the audience that you attract. People associate price as a marker of quality. Lots of people will go into a supermarket, say, to buy wine. Some people will go straight for the cheapest wine, and some people will go straight for the most expensive wine. Without looking at what grape it is, without reading what it pairs well with, without looking up who was the producer, they're simply making their decision based on price. And a lot of people will go, I'm going to get the most expensive bottle because price is a determination of quality. So this comes into our offerings as well. If someone is looking for maybe they're living in an affluent area, they are looking for a private yoga teacher to come to their house because they are of the upper levels of society that they're not going to go to the community hall. They want that price to be £60, £65 or £400 for a set of 6 because they will be judging the quality based on the price. Equally, when you're looking at day retreats or weekend retreats, there are retreats at £2,000 a week. There are retreats at £800 a week. Who goes on that retreat will be very different based on the price point. I did once teach a high ticket retreat. It was for somebody else. It was in Italy. I was paid for this one. It was a wine tasting and yoga retreat in Italy, and it was on a £2,000 price tag. I hated that retreat. I didn't like the level of expectation that the client base on a £2,000 retreat brought. Okay? I like to do yoga retreats that are for my students. I am Hampshire based, My students aren't going to be paying £2,000 for a retreat. My retreats are around £800, £900. When I go on those, I have fun. I feel like I am on holiday with my students, getting to share yoga in the most amazing places, versus that £2,000 retreat where I didn't enjoy it. I was staff just rocking up to teach yoga. Okay? So the price you are charging on something literally will attract a different audience. I spoke about this with Jackie, who is in my 6-month mentorship program. She has a small boutique studio in Lyndhurst. She needs to be offering a high-level service at a high boutique price for the people of Lyndhurst. Okay? Versus a big drop-in class with 25 people in Southampton. Okay? And really think about that when you're looking at class prices. It has to make economical sense. If you are teaching in a venue that can only take 8 people versus your friend teaching in a venue that can take 24 people, you should not be charging the same because the value is totally different to the student. Some students will be perfectly happy in a massive drop-in class. Some of my classes are like this. They go for the hubbub, the fun, they don't need personal attention from me, and they're great with that. But if you are in a small class with me, with 8 people, and you really get my attention, modifications, options, variations for you, you shouldn't be paying the same amount as the people in a 20-person plus drop-in. So, when you are pricing your offerings, look at everything. How many people can you take in there? How long does it take you to get there? Is it a beautiful space with props provided? Or is it a dusty village hall where the floor is still sandy from scouts? Look at the whole big picture. The value for you, the value for students, the long term, the expertise you're bringing to that. And then really start to work out your prices. And that will show you why when you put in a group like ours, what should I charge for X, without telling us it's for this corporate company, there's going to be this many people, they're covering anxiety, this is what I'm going to be giving, I'm going to be giving homework. It is impossible for us to help you with pricing unless you give us the big picture. So I'm not saying don't ask for help with pricing. Please feel free to. But next time you go to ask for help in pricing in the group, give us the whole story. And if you don't know the whole story, you haven't been asking enough questions. Final thing, if you are quoting someone, and I learned this from my days in recruitment, if you are negotiating and you are quoting and you're saying your price, say you're saying to a corporate, this is going to be £250 for that corporate. Say your price, ideally on the phone, negotiate on the phone, it's so much better, and then shut up. Okay. This is from my recruitment days. Say your price and then shut up. And don't say anything else. We get ourselves in trouble. We say things like, okay, so my usual price for this, because you feel uncomfortable, is £250. But, I could probably do something a little bit cheaper for you. Like, we instantly talk ourselves out of it. Say your price and shut up. Wait for them to come back and know if you want that offer, you can always renegotiate. Okay? You don't have to, I didn't get my first price, therefore they don't want me. How embarrassing. It's all a negotiation when you're dealing with corporates. So that is a lot we have covered today. Let's get chatting in the comments. Let me know any questions, but really start thinking big picture with pricing. Thank you for tuning in. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you. Bye.